Here's my review for Dune Part 2. It's official, everyone. Timmy is a leading man, and no worms were harmed in the making of this movie. Actually, except for one little one, I think. Not mine, though. I take care of mine. I gotta correct Christopher Nolan here because this isn't just Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Dune Part 2, when you really think about it, is Star Wars Revenge of the Sith for a new generation. Denis Villeneuve directs one of the best sequels of our time with film power, as it was written. The beauty, horrors, and tragedy of leading while being trapped in prophecy, political tensions, and corruption of power are all shown on the grandest scale. Cinematographer Greg Fraser and composer Hans Zimmer were operating at their absolute best in this movie. I was levitating from my seat with the way the movie looked and the music that was being injected into my veins. Did somebody give these guys spice? Because they still have that juice. It was unbelievable. My favorite tracks for the music, listen to it on Spotify: Kiss the Ring and A Time of Quiet Between the Sandstorms. Hans Zimmer is coming for that third Oscar. This is a defining moment for Timothée Chalamet as he fully arrives as the next generation's leading man. The amount of emotion and depth he carries within himself so maturely is reminiscent of a young Leonardo DiCaprio in roles like Romeo and Juliet and Titanic. Timothée Chalamet completely commands the screen. There is a lot to unpack with Dune Part 2. I am still soaking it all in. A lot of ideas and themes probably went over my head. It isn't just a straightforward, simple, entertaining sci-fi movie. It is extremely profound, complex. It deals with heavy themes of destiny, fate, prophecy, political chess, bloodlines, revenge, morality. You know, this is the kind of movie that you can sit with somebody for hours and just talk about. You can just dissect whether Paul, the main character, is a good guy or a bad guy when power elevates him. Does religion and hope, can those be weaponized? Do the ends justify the means pertaining to Paul's actions? It's a lot of stuff. This movie has me thinking. It has me thinking, really. I can't just, stand here for a minute and talk about, hey, this was good, I like this or that. No, I'm thinking about this movie. We're sitting and playing in the sand with this one for a little bit and thinking about everything that happened and how it makes us feel. In a society plagued by war and the desire to fight for more power, can a rising leader be all good? And most importantly, for how long? Dune examines influential organizations and individuals who wield power by maintaining control over resources and people, like with faith and fear. Think about it. In the first movie, Paul has this idea that fear is the mind killer and he has to overcome that fear. And by the end of the second movie, his story arc, maybe he becomes fear itself. What does that mean? What that means is, think about what Shani says. She says, this prophecy is how they enslave us. AKA, blind beliefs and us falling victim to our own superstitious ignorance allows people to justify holy wars. This narrow way that Paul uses to assert dominance only leads to an ongoing cycle of fear and pain, which is a bleak parallel to our reality. Now we really know what's in the box in the first movie. Just like Paul Atreides, Usul, Muad'Dib, Lisan al-Gaib, our eyes and mind are wide open, and we can see the full tragic picture clearly of the overall story. You watch the second one, and now everything in the first movie hits different. You're going to pick up on things that, now that you know about, now that you've seen the present, the past, the future, you know the story, you're going to see it all. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear and allow it to permit over and through me. Except it didn't go through Paul. It consumed him. He became fear itself, and that's all that remains.